Here are the 8 reasons I prefer a Class C over a Class A. I've had both of them. Okay. Number 1, if you notice, a Class C goes over the cab in the front. Now all of this area, it gives you shade. It shades the cab. And it makes it a lot cooler. Well, the Class A has a great big windshield and it gets pretty hot in there. Okay. Number 2, the Class C has airbags, where the Class A doesn't. And the reason is, this is a Ford truck, more or less. Okay? We have a cat, that's why we have these horrible seat cushions covering everything. Look how perfect those seats are. We recovered these. It's in another video. I'll show you exactly how you recover your seats. Okay. Number 3, the doors. You have a door over there, a door here, of course, and then you have your door to go into the camper on the side. Well, a lot of the Class A's, the door is actually on the passenger side. And that's the only door you have. Now you have emergency exits, but you can stop and just get right out of the cab with these. Okay, that's also good for safety. Okay, and number 4, service. Any Ford dealer will service this camper. Okay, this is a E450. They have parts. This is just a truck front end. Vans. Ford will have all the parts. A Class A, you can only go to the service dealer. Very few people work on Class A's. Okay. Well, that's number 4. And number 5 is the price. This was $20,000 cheaper than the Class A. Okay, and number 6 is parking and travel. Now you're limited to where you can put this motorhome. This is a 30-foot motorhome, and I'm limited with the Class C, but when I had my Class A, I was really limited. On the roads I could go down, the height. So I found that it's easy to drive. It's a lot easier to drive. And the reason it's easy to drive is you're sitting here. This is where you're sitting, behind the steering wheel, behind the wheels. You're sitting, driving down the road. Your front wheels are right here, just like a truck. It makes it easier to drive. My Class A, the wheels were back here. I'm sitting right on the edge of the wheels. It makes it harder to handle and harder to drive. Anyone's had both of them can tell you that's a fact. Okay, number 7, the windshield. I can get this windshield changed anywhere. All right. For anybody that does truck windshields, you can get. It's not that expensive to change the windshield compared to a Class A. The Class A windshield is very expensive. You have a lot of glass that's going down the road. And like I said before, that glass, all it does is give you heat in the summertime and sunlight. It blinds you. Okay, and number 8, mileage. Number 8 is mileage. I get way better mileage on this than I got on my Class A. It's a regular Ford truck. Now if I drive on flat land, keeping them 60, 65, I get 9 miles to the gallon. I never got better than 6 in my Class A. So those are the main reasons, the 8 main reasons that I prefer a Class C than a Class A. And like I said, I've had both of them. And I'll never get another Class A, not after having a Class C. So how we do it here? Class A versus Class C motorhome. Okay, I just want to add something about the difference between a Class C and a Class A. Okay, we're in the Class C right now. Okay. Now, on the Class A that I had, and a lot of the Class A's, see right here, to get out of the camper, we have a door that's way over here next to the refrigerator. Okay. On the Class A I had, okay, the door there was no side doors like this, of course. You didn't have the side doors, which is good to exit for emergencies, but you didn't have that. The door to get out was actually the one door. They only had one door. They had emergency exits. All campers have emergency exits, but it had with the windows open. You pop the windows open and you can climb out the window. Okay, all your motorhomes are gonna have that, especially in the bedrooms. Okay, what I was gonna say was, and what happens is, like I say here, you can just get out the camper, stop at a filling station. You each can just get out the side right here. Okay, but the Class A, the only door to get out was right here, next to the passenger seat. Okay, and the problem with that is, anyway, you would open it up. You would they had a big hole down there. If you know what I'm talking about. If you have a Class A or seen the Class A's, you know what I'm talking about. Wife didn't like it. I didn't like it. Okay. Now, see, like right here, if we would have stopped, we stopped, let's say, and I'm going to get directions, because this is GPS. You don't you don't need to ask for directions, but just to say, or I'm stopping to grab a Coke or a candy bar, let's say, at a convenience store. Okay, or to get gas. I easily get out of my door, and the gas is on the same side as I am here, and I can pump my gas. That doesn't disturb the wife. She can sit here with the animals, the dog, or cat, or whatever she's holding, and she's not disturbed. Now the Class A, she had to get out of her seat, she had to move, and just a little convenience like that. And the floor was, the step was down into her floor, which was actually dangerous. You could actually slip and fall down there. So this is one of the main reasons. And like I said before, the windshield. I mean, when you're going down the road in this vehicle, it's just a regular car. Now you can call what's the name of it? Those glass shops. You can call a glass shop. Give them the year you got, and they'll come out and change the glass while you're at a campground. Okay. Now the expense of a Class A's windshield would be a heck of a lot more, I'm sure. And this windshield would cost just like you would a Ford truck, or a lot of companies use these the same body style. It's 450, E450. They use it for buses, for small buses, for transportation, for hospitals, nursing homes. I've seen them. They use them to Meals on Wheels, not Meals on Wheels. What do they call it? Meals on Wheels. Meals on Wheels to bring food. Anyway, they use the same chassis as this is. And like I said, this motorhome is 30 feet, and it's all Ford. So Ford dealers will work on them. Okay. Now the Ford dealer used to work on my Class A if I needed something done, and then they decided not to do that anymore. The Class A was not a Ford, but I knew the people at Ford, so they would work on it. And they quit doing that. They decided it wasn't, their policy was, they didn't have the equipment to work on it. They didn't have qualified mechanics like they do for this Ford chassis. All right, so that's some of the main reasons why I prefer the Class C to the Class A. Now I have some friends that have Class A motorhomes, and they told me that they prefer a Class C. After riding them, seeing them, they prefer the Class C because the Class C, like I said before, there's a lot of advantages to the Class C. Now some of the newer Class A's do have airbags. Okay. Some of the brand new ones, they do have airbags, you know. You're looking at a $200,000 rig. This motorhome was brand new. I think about $105,000, something like that. Where you would pay way more for a Class A. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. And I would definitely much rather this Class C to a Class A. Like I said, I'll never get another Class A. So I hope this helps someone that's looking to buy a motorhome. And but test drive them. Don't take my word for it. Look at them. But keep those things in mind when you get ready to buy the motorhome. Now some like the big Class A with the big windshield is the status quo. Look at me, I got a great big windshield, and look at me, the sun's beating down on me through this big windshield. And you might have to plan your trips that if you're heading west, go west in the morning. You're heading east, go east in the afternoon so the sun don't come through the windshield. On the Class A, that is. Okay. Hope this helps someone. How we do it here. Prefer the Class C to the Class A motorhome.